Good morning, folks. We'll start at the northeastern limb of the sun where a new plasma filament is rising over the horizon. We'll see if this one hangs on or releases like the last one. Quickly updating planetary geometry. Right now, Uranus is almost smack in the midnight position of Earth, opposite the sun, and over the next few days it will geocentrically oppose Venus. Meanwhile, Mercury is coming in to conjoin the sun in about 1 week. Potential flare uptick expected. After that, Venus will conjoin the sun about 1 week later. Something interesting about Venus: we've discussed the planetary changes in wind speed and rotation, and its brightness, but don't be fooled by what you see on SOHO. This is a light reflection off the arm that holds the opaque disk in the center to block the solar glare. Venus is changing just like the other planets right now, but this is merely a light effect. We're just 9 days from Comet Siding Spring's close approach to Mars. They are moving satellites to get out of the comet's way as the coma will collide with the atmosphere of Mars. Full explanations can be found at a link to our Comet Siding Spring playlist right below this video. Some good news. The quakes died down a bit after the 7 magnitude shake in the southeast Pacific yesterday. We've had more of those moderate tremors along the coastlines and also some more shaking on the mid-Atlantic ridge. The latest earthquake watch was based on these coronal holes and was fairly successful. We're in what we've noticed time and time again is the mid-watch lull while the weakest part of the coronal hole faces Earth, but a re-ramp is possible the next few days as the stronger backside of the opening swings in. A note on the rise in neutron counts. While we're at a peak so far in October according to McMurdo, this is actually run-of-the-mill over the long term and doesn't come close to matching some other fluctuations we've seen over the last 6 months or longer. The solar polar fields are updated again. North is back into positive. If it can maintain this, we'll deem the solar polar flip to finally be over, but she's surprised us before. Solar wind fluctuations are calming but remain slightly above average levels in density. Geomagnetic instability is waning but showing the pressure of the particles still. Solar flaring has hit the floor. After the M flares from the departing group, it has gone completely silent, and the incoming sunspot, while having an umbra of pretty good size, is pretty much all alone and very unlikely to flare as it is now. All in all, pretty calm day on our star. We'll quickly mention methane as a hotspot has been detected near the Four Corners. It's that red patch you see in the U.S. Southwest. They are fairly certain this is a man-made release. Typhoon Vongfong bearing down on Japan. Well, Japan isn't having it too easy right now, with one volcano already erupted and another showing magma movement with volcanic tremors below. Meanwhile, India's set their eyes on their approaching cyclone, less than 2 days from making landfall. We're also fairly certain that this system in the Atlantic is going to form a named storm in the next day or so, but also fairly sure it's heading out to sea and away from the U.S. Couple notes for North America. A power low off the northwest will bring warmer temperatures and rain to the region. Meanwhile, it's aided by the western flow north of a high-pressure cell, which also reinforces the counterclockwise drive of the Canadian low in the east, driving cool air south in the middle, and also aiding to form the convergence that cuts through the central states. This region was active yesterday, causing some flash flooding in isolated areas. It will be active again tonight with severe storms and flood warnings. And also, don't forget snow at the western portion of the low and the rain coming in the northwest. The clouds twisted around the low the last day in Europe. Tornado dropped in the UK. We've got much of the same warnings today as the low pressure is driving hard and is met from the south by heat and moisture off the Mediterranean. This drives tonight's warnings to be similar to yesterday's. I'd love some weather shares. Precipitable water overlay shows a cell in eastern Australia, a weak mass from Tasmania to the South Island of New Zealand, and a more definitive convergence on the North Island. That'll about do it there. If you missed last night's upload, it's a good one. Major updates to Earth spots, the Sun Storm Quake connection, and our interview in Joplin. You can also get a chuckle at the male anchors thinking we're government funded, only to be swiftly corrected by Miss Garvilla. Got shots of our star to close, eyes open. No fear, it's 6:15 a.m. Eastern Time, and that's the news. Be safe, everyone.